The water in the front of our store was about here, and the water in the back of the store was up to here.
Because it's a lower elevation.
Yes, it's a lower elevation.
All right. And now just real quick, you're Susan Banks,
Yes.
Faith Mangora.
Yes.
And now how long have you been in Denver?
The store has been here for 20 years. I've been in this 21 years, this location 20 years.
Okay. So now where were you guys before that first year?
1 year we were across the street where the Chinese restaurant is, 29 Broadway.
Okay. And then you moved over here.
That's correct. And then a year later I purchased the building.
Okay,
so I rented
now,
for 1 year and now I own the building.
Oh, okay. So you flat out own it.
Yes.
All right. So you don't have to deal with the landlord. You don't have to deal with any of that.
No, but I had to deal with fixing up the whole store. I didn't have a landlord to call to say, oh, fix my building. That was my responsibility because I own it.
Did you have flood insurance?
I did. I had flood insurance for the building. I did not have flood insurance for the content. I have content insurance, but not if it's caused by a flood.
Okay. So now those are two different things.
Yes.
So now they covered you for, anything that was part of the building.
50 inches down.
50 inches down, okay.
Right.
So, give or take 4 feet then.
That's correct. That's correct.
And then anything above that, you had to pay out of pocket then.
Right, exactly. And with 11-foot ceilings, we had no choice. You couldn't match the building, so everything had to come out.
And be redone.
Exactly. Everything had to be redone.
It was a long and lengthy process. Now you were and you were out of power for probably...
I think about 5 days.
About 5 days, okay.
Right.
And then you were closed for how long?
We reopened the end of November for about 3 months.
And then you closed for the winter season?
No.
You didn't close for the winter season, okay.
No, we opened for 2 days. We opened 11/11/11. We were open for 2 days, and then we turned around and closed again because we didn't quite have our flow right in the store. It was not working, so we had to make some changes.
Okay, and now what changes did you make?
As far as
moving things
computers,
around?
right? Our computers, a couple of the displays weren't working.
Now, did you have to get all new computer systems?
The computer systems were safe.
Okay.
I did not lose my point of sale, which is huge. I lost that in 1999 with Hurricane Floyd.
Okay.
This is my second flood.
Second one, okay.
The last time I had 13 inches of water in the back with Hurricane Floyd, but just in the back, nothing up here.
Okay.
So on that time I lost all my computers. But here, yes, every fixture you see here is new. The floor is new. The walls are new. Everything, well, that ceiling in there is new. Everything you see here is brand new, completely redone. And we did it. It took the construction people from, I'd say, September 1st to that Halloween weekend with the storm to finish, and then it took us the additional time to bring everything back in and
set it up.
Right, exactly.
And then you opened, and then you closed it back down.
Right, just for a few days.
And then fixed everything up again.
Right. So it was hard. I mean, taking everything out in the very beginning, I came into town that morning, Monday morning. We tried to get into town on Sunday, and we couldn't get into town. We got as far as Burger King, and the water was up to Burger King, and we knew we were in trouble.
Yeah, because I work at the Denver A&P, and even trying to get there, we were still open.
Right.
Even trying to get there, it was just...
Right. We couldn't. We went home. Monday morning I came in, and I will never forget this. I was on Mars Avenue because I knew I had to go that way, and Chris Sandman, the patrol officer, was at the corner, and town was sealed. And I said to him, "Can I get into the store?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "I haven't been downtown yet. Do you know if the store's been hit?" And he looked at the ground. And that's when I knew I had lost everything. It was really hard. And he knew, and he didn't have to say anything more. And then that last time of turning onto Diamond Spring and then driving down, and I parked up here by the theater, and I could see the water was still in my doorway. The street was still covered.
And that was on Monday.
I was on Monday, and I walked in and saw what you see in my pictures outside. The carnage of tea that was up here was now floated down and around the corner in the back of the store.
And you lost a lot of the dresses.
I lost $96,000 of dresses at retail. Every one of them.
Now, what about your jewelry? Was your jewelry safe?
The jewelry was safe if it was above here. If it was below here, it all had to be cleaned, steamed, reboxed, repriced. We still actually have a nice little pile to go through. In the back, my 2 huge cases in the back were completely under the water, and the company took it all back and scrapped it and replaced all the jewelry for me. Because it was in contaminated water, it couldn't be sold. And
So they had to redo everything.
they had to redo, and they did. The company took care of it.
That's very nice.
And my Irish company sent me 2 new stands. This was from the original. This is new. This was rebuilt.
Okay.
We were gonna 3 years ago. I completely redid the store. Everything we did then was thrown away, and I had to start again. So I've actually had 4 grand openings in 20 years. When I
it
opened,
looks nice though.
when I opened, 1999 after Floyd. When I redid the store 3 years ago, and just last November, I've had 4 grand openings. I don't want a 5th.
Well, let's hope not. I mean, like that looks really nice. The
Right?
stone right
That's
there.
a new touch that we did. We wanted to make it look like a stone wall from Ireland, so we did that touch. When Thatcher McGee's came into town, I asked them permission. We always had a thatched roof, but ours was made out of hula skirts, and I asked him permission if we could use his thatcher, and he did come. He came in December and put the thatched roof up, so we didn't have to use hula skirts anymore.
Okay.
So that's a real thatched roof with
It
people
looks
from
nice.
England, and then the windows, and then what it does is it's a doorway that goes into the back part of my store.
So, now, how was it since you didn't have a landlord to go through? Dealing with everything on your own, going
Yes.
through the flood insurance.
Yes.
And you had the issue of content versus what wasn't insured. Now, how long of a process was that to go through?
I would say it was a pretty long process because the very first day, we have 5 children, my husband and I. My husband came, our 5 children came, some nephews, my brother, and my nephew's neighbors, and they all came because we had to get our plan. We kind of felt we knew we were going to flood. We didn't know it was going to be this bad, and we had a plan of attack. In 1999, we never took the carpet out. Biggest mistake ever. This time we knew the first thing we had to do was get the carpet out of here because of the heat and the water and the mold. We needed to get it out. So that was our first priority. Our second priority was to get anything, and it all happened on the same day, anything soft goods, anything that would absorb odors, all our sweaters,
And get all
hats,
that out.
everything had to be packed up and out. And this gentleman, who happens to be my brother, Paul Varnish, donated space.
And you had a dumpster to put
And we
everything
had,
in.
and then the town brought I'll never forget, the first day they said, oh, by 1 o'clock we'll have 2 dumpsters here. Anything you want, just put on the curb or put it in the dumpster. Well, I think I alone probably used 6 dumpsters because over the course, the 2 dumpsters lasted 10 minutes. And they
Because
were,
there was just so much that you had
and the
to get rid
town
of.
just kept providing. The town was unbelievable, and I think that they were so good because they didn't have a plan. And the town of Denville didn't have a plan, but they went on their heart. And they took care of us because they had no plan is why they were so unbelievable.
There were shop owners who said, I've been here 50 years, or even, customers who said, I've been living in this town 80 years.
Right.
Never seen it this bad before.
No, it wasn't. It was never this bad. I've been here 58 years.
And,
it's never.
this is the worst flood you've probably ever seen.
Yes, absolutely.
And then, a month and a half, 2 months later, we get hit with the snowstorm.
That's correct.
And I'm hoping that didn't affect you at all, right?
In that we lost power again. And it didn't affect neither. Well, the event of the snowstorm affected my home. I live in Union Hill.
Okay.
The flood did not affect my home. It affected my business.
I like them long, so I don't know.
So it was very rough to go through.
Yes, it's been really hard emotionally, and it's still really hard. I mean, a lot of store owners have had to go get loans, and now we have those loans looming over us each month that we
And now
have
you
to
have to
pay.
pay back every month.
it
You have
takes-
the interest to worry about.
Right, exactly. And
Now with the loans, did you have to go through a bank? or
I went
did
through a
you-
bank.
You went through a
I did
bank,
not
okay.
go through the SBA. The process was way too
Lengthy.
more lengthy and more than I could handle.
Now, what was the process if you had to go through SBA?
You had to show your sales every month for the past X amount of years. I had all the credentials to do everything. It was just
would've
easier.
taken too long.
My bank offer that I've been dealing with for 20 years was able to take care of me at a good rate. So that's what I
a
did.
better rate than you would have gotten with them.
I would say equal to or a little bit better. Yes.
Okay. Well, then that's a little better then.
Yes, and I'm dealing with my bank, who I had my mortgage with and other.
You know, they're probably a little better for you and a little
Right.
better to you than, you know,
Right.
this behavior.
I did go to all the meetings. I did go down to Parsippany and speak with them, but as it turned out, going through my own bank was the better way.
And so, you know, you've just been dealing with that ever since.
I have. I mean, we
but-
documented every picture that day of the store. Robin spent days running reports. We knew exactly what our loss was, and actually, it was kind of good applying for the money that the town offered from Denville Up and Running and all the other fundraising, hurricane relief.
Denville really came together.
Yes, they did, and it was really good because it really helped me put in perspective what my losses were as far as my payroll and my advertising and my loss of
Because
sales
a lot of other
and
businesses
my
could only,
goods.
they could only guesstimate as to what their
Right.
losses were.
Right. We had hard evidence of everything that we lost.
And so at least you were able to get a lot of that replaced.
We were. My vendors from Ireland and the United States were very good to me. I mean, there were days when just a box would show up at the door of goods from Ireland or from the dresses. People made exclusive dresses for me. Others, other shops, other Irish shops sent me fixtures. Other Irish shops sent me some of their stock to help me get going again.
I thought that's really great.
I was very lucky.
You know, it was very nice to see people come together and see all that happen.
Absolutely.
You know, it would have been nice to see it for other reasons, but still, regardless, nonetheless, you know, it did take a natural disaster for, you know, people to come together. But,
Right.
you know what, I feel that ever since then, you've seen a lot more willingness to come together, willingness to help one another.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's a very nice thing to see nowadays because it's, you know, felt like a rarity, you know, these past several years.
I think
especially.
that Denville has been noted nationally for the response to this flood, to the homeowners, the fact that they had dinners every night that you could go to, the fact that not only did they have the dinners, but they featured different things to help the person inside, because this was such an emotional thing. These people who lost their homes with dear little babies or little children or elderly people who didn't have maybe family around to help them, us with losing our businesses, which is our income. To have that town hall set up and what they did, and then their last meal 3 weeks later, I think Robin Fitzgerald had the idea to make it a Thanksgiving dinner to be thankful that we had everything and that we were going to be okay down the road.
And you know what? Like, everything seems great now. I know you're still, like, all the businesses are still struggling.
Right.
I know Sergio's just reopened today, which
Today,
is great.
yes.
You know, they've been talking about it for...
It's been a very long haul.
But I mean, I got a nice little peek inside. It looks nice.
Yes, beautiful.
You know, and I got to visit him 2 weeks ago, and, you know, I got to see some of his reconstruction process.
Yeah.
So that was nice. And, you know, it's just really great to, you know, even like when a couple shops started opening up, they put signs on Route 46 as you're entering Denville. Oh, you know, 7 shops are open.
Right.
11 shops are
Because
open.
not just us who got flooded were affected by this storm, all the stores,
Well, they lost power.
right, from Heritage East and from Lashins, West, those shops weren't affected with flood, but they were affected by the flood. People weren't coming into town. Our town was shut down for days and days and days.
It was like
So
4 or 5
California
days.
Beach Hut people, even though they weren't affected by the flood, they were affected. So now we've been able to do a lot of cooperative advertising for the town. We ran a very successful Easter egg hunt where you could go business to business to bring people in, and now we're working on a block party to bring and thank everybody and to put this big block party, a 50s style block party together that we're going to be having in July.
That's going to be in July.
In conjunction with Sidewalk Sale Days. It'll be one of the nights of that, and that's going to be huge. We want it to be family, we want it to be fun, we want to bring people into town, kind of forget what's going on for a little bit and just enjoy themselves.
And you know what? That's all you can ask for. And you know, it's going to help the businesses, it's going to help the town. You know, you're to hopefully start seeing people, well, you know what, maybe, you know, this is the town for us to live in, you know, or you know what, hey, let's do our shopping in, you know, Denville Center.
Christmas was beautiful. today, to this day, people come in and say, "Oh, we're so sorry what happened with the flood. We're so glad you're back in
I mean,
business."
even with the recession and everything,
Yes, yes.
it's very nice to see people willing to donate.
Yes.
Even if they can't donate their money, at least they were donating their time.
Yes.
They were donating effort.
Yes, we had,
Every little bit helps.
right, the Mars Mills football team came and they washed, and I have thousands of brackets that go on the walls. They washed and dried every bracket. The coach and a couple of the boys washed glass shelving for me. The Church of Notre Dame came and they continued to wash every piece of glass. I never had to wash anything. They took care of it. We set them up and they came and did it on their own. We had the Key Club kids from Morse Knolls come, and that I had to leave. It was a really emotional day, as every day was, but they washed all my windows and washed away the water lines.
Now, you said it was about up to
About here.
here in the front.
Yep. And about. So the day that those water lines left was a huge milestone, and my next milestone will be the day I take the pictures down. I'm not ready to do that.
I don't blame you. I mean, it really shows everyone what you went through, and like how much you struggled and how you overcame it. And
Well,
that's great.
our town.
Yeah.
But eventually, one picture will go by our register. But I'm not ready to let that go quite yet.
I don't blame
I
you.
might wait till the first anniversary, and I think we should really pat ourselves on the back.
And say, hey, we made it.
We made it, and then maybe that's the day that I'll finally take the pictures down. But I'm just not ready to do that yet.
I don't blame you.
It's very painful to go through this, and I know for a lot we're all in the same.
it was
Pardon
just-
the pun, but same boat.
Yeah. it was hard to see the center of town like that. Because I'm 24, I've been living in Denver my entire life.
Right.
I remember, Hurricane Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really get hit for Katrina. I know there was another one in between there.
There was
But-
one that was in wintertime.
Yeah.
It was in January. It had to do with really hard nor'easter storm and the thawing, because it had been icy and snowy, and then it thawed, and then that water came, and we got it through the roof that time. That was actually all taken care of because that wasn't a flood.
Yeah.
So insurance took care of all that.
And, never seen anything this bad. Never seen it come up in the town like this before. Never seen so many different roads closed
Right.
before.
Right.
Just in order to get anywhere, oh, well, this is usually a 5-minute drive. No, it's going to take you about, anywhere from 50 to 60
That's
minutes
right.
now.
Right. Because I either had to go to Parsippany or to Dover
And come all the way around.
to get home. Yeah.
I had to do the same way to get to work.
Right.
I had to drive through 2 different towns just to get back into the
Right.
only part of Denver you could go through at the
Right.
time.
Right. And that's okay. I think the police department and Steve Ward and the mayor
And we
and
also
they
had, the National Guard came in. They really helped.
right.
They got people out who couldn't get out.
Or got him to the hospital, because the hospital was a bit of an island.
It was because it's surrounded by the Rockaway River.
Yeah. So I'm really grateful, and as I said, the town did so awesome because they didn't have any rules. They did it on love.
They did, and it was great to see that. And it was also, it was kind of unprecedented in a way.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And please, dear God, it doesn't happen to us again. And I'm confident
let's hope
that
not.
it was a once in a lifetime.
And let's hope that they take the necessary precautions. Build a trench.
Right.
Because when we talked to Rich, he was saying how they're building homes to where rivers and the water used to flow off to, so now the water has nowhere to flow. Nowhere to flow.
Right.
So it's going to go to the most open spot,
Right.
and unfortunately, that happened to be the street.
Right.
And so let's hope that eventually they build more runoffs, and they, I guess, so to speak, dig a ditch.
Right.
And say, okay, well, now when the water runs off, it has this pool to
Right.
go into, this
Right.
pool to fill
Retaining.
up.
Right.
And, let's hope that can contain a lot of it.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
So, but you know what? That's up to the town, probably actually up to the state.
Right. State and federal.
Yeah, they would have to decide to
And
do
I
that.
think they are working on that. Our mayor has been working with mayors from every town along the Rockaway River.
And I've heard about that, and that's great, because you know what? You gotta watch out for the river.
That's right.
It does not take that much water for Denver to start flooding.
No, in June there's a big cleanup, the second weekend in June, where they're all along the river it's because
Oh,
we
there's
have a
still
lot
so
of
much
debris.
garbage
Right,
there.
right. And so that's going to be happening, cutting branches back. And then we go from there with what the government's going to help us with. And hopefully this is just a passing thing, and we'll be back. And
Let's hope it is, because
Absolutely.
I do not want to see another disaster like this in our town.
me neither. One's enough.
Exactly.
Or two.
Technically,
Yeah,
yes.
technically two. So, okay. Did you have any more questions?
I can't really think of anything at the moment. I mean, if you have anything else to add, feel free.
No, I just want to thank everyone from the town, from the fire department who pumped me out about 17 times, to the police. The first 5 days, we never even locked our doors. My jewelry was still in here, and my doors were wide open at night, as they had police presence 24/7. They brought lights down because there was no power and generators. So if you could plug in, you would. I couldn't because my box was in the basement under all the water.
And all that electrical shorted.
all the electrical, and to the town, these young men who came and filled these dumpsters for us. All we had to do was separate the cardboard, which we did, and to Steve Ward, who coordinated it, and to Peg File, and to Deirdre with the social service department. All these people who just really gave of themselves to get us through it. I'm so grateful to each and every one of them and everything that they did.
It was a great thing that everyone did.
Absolutely.
And, we came together. We pulled through it,
Yep.
and we're still going along.
Oh, we're still going to have up and running this year. As I said, we're going to have a block party, kind of a celebration, and soon enough it's going to be our 1-year anniversary, and I think we're all going to be dancing in the streets.
Exactly. And let's hope no more rain.
No. Well, we need a little rain, but
In
no more
moderation.
flooding. That's
In moderation.
it. In moderation, exactly.
And that's all we can hope for.
That's right. Okay.
Well, I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for
for your
stopping
time.
in. Oh, no problem. No problem.
We can only hope everything gets better from here.
That's right. Okay. Good. Thank you so much for you. You sat very quiet over there.
Okay. I didn't want to say a word.
No, you did fine. Did we do all right?
You did fantastic.
It's very emotional for me.
It is. I could see it. I was tearing up myself.
Yeah, it's
All
really,
credit to you that you were so strong enough to get through this. Because I don't think I could have, really.
you don't.
You sometimes don't even think about it. You just go ahead.
And that's part of what's going on now. I am thinking about it, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And we're tired. The store owners, I think, are tired
Yeah.
because we've put so much in nonstop.
Right.
So that's kind of hard. But
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
We're all going to be fine. The town is such a good support.